Welcome back to my live stream. This is Jacob Cass 2024 playing NBA 2K26 my career on the PS5. We're doing my second my career with me playing my center with the Blackhammer on the Celtics. Now we're going to do my live stream. We're going to talk about WWE SmackDown. We'll talk about SmackDown, the go home show for Summerslam. And then we'll go into our SummerSlam prediction for night 1 and night 2. That is tomorrow and Sunday. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. I got more on the way. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Let me know in the comment section below if y'all want to see more. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. My live stream will be like an hour and 20 minutes. We will see how long it goes. Yeah, so we'll be talking about SmackDown here. My live stream is on. Now while I play this game, gonna talk about Friday Night SmackDown. We'll talk about some news and rumors in WWE. I don't know, we'll talk about AEW. AEW Dynamite sucked on Wednesday. NXT wasn't that good. Now we got the SummerSlam vlog. Grayson Waller gave feedback at the tryout. Nick Bell made a shocking return. Chad Gable's home gym workout prepared him for a dream opportunity. CM Punk trained for Cody Rhodes' SummerSlam title match with Big E. Rollins had an interview yesterday. Chad Gable returns home for biggest week of his career. We got the return of Grayson Waller on NXT. Angel and Humberto returned to NXT, tried to help the OTM. Grayson Waller crashes NXT, goes scorched earth on everyone. Sean Spear boot Lazy Wayne to win over Izzy Dome. Now, what happened on SmackDown tonight? Nothing much happened. This was a go-home show, very short. The show opened up with Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. They exchanged words face to face. They had a pretty nice back and forth. And then Gunther got involved. And Gunther destroyed Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. And then we saw Adam Pearce and some security. Nick Aldis got involved. Nick Aldis dropped Gunther. They brawled for a bit. Hyping up the match for SummerSlam I'm looking forward to. I'll never open the show, by the way, on SmackDown. Charlotte Flair attacked Jade Cargill after the tag team match I think they had. Charlotte and Jade are still feuding. They're still building up them. How come the fact that we didn't get a match, we should be getting Charlotte and Jade at SummerSlam instead of this 5-woman ladder match? Because it feels like they should be feuding one-on-one. It might be between Charlotte and Jade. We'll have to wait and see. But Charlotte and Jade still feuding. CM Punk confront Trick Williams backstage. Both champions exchanged word. They could be building up Trick Williams to go after the WWE Championship if he loses the title to Baron Corbin. We got the son of Haku. The father, Haku. He's the father of the Tongas. So Haku came out and the MFT laid out Damian Priest, R-Truth, and the War Raiders. I think the match ended DQ. It was probably the War Raiders against Priest and Truth, but the MFT came out with their father Haku and they laid him out. So clearly they're setting up the MFT to go after the tag team title. They're trying to take them seriously, trying to tell their story and build them up. I actually like that their father came out on SmackDown. After that, we got Baron Corbin attempt to rattle Trick Williams. They're hyping up the match for the US title. I think on Sunday. I think it was on Sunday. I think Baron Corbin making his first match since coming back to the company in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to see how good this match is going to be. It's something to know Carmelo Hayes in this match after he was taken out. Carmelo Hayes being overshadowed again, left off one of your second biggest pay-per-views. Now I'm happy for Corbin and it's going to be Trick. After that, we got Ray Phoenix defeated JD McDonough. He retained the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. Danhausen and Minihausen helped Ray Phoenix. They also went after Dominic. Obviously, Danhausen, the shit gimmick and the shit feud with him and Dominic. Hopefully, they ended at SummerSlam. We know that Last Legend, she qualified the WWE Women's Ladder match. She beat Julia. So now we got our 5 women in that match. Yeah. Big fight field. Now, the main event segment was CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and the Faith to Faith. They changed some good words here, and then they brawled for a bit. Pretty good brawl. Not perfect. Jeff Cobb beat that about her WWE for the first time. Selena Vega on her WWE, her and Aleister Black. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't see no Denise on say though. Now, Denise did make her petition. There's some entity with Grayson Waller. Alright, you know what? Alright, might put the shows on the podcasters here.
Lulu's Barn, home of Big Holly and Dusty and Creasy, Will and Marty and Midnight.
They're going to fight for pro
Totally
wrestling.
1000% agree. I think that there are very few people in the wrestling space that just have an aura about them that if I say you're good, you are good, and Haku is one of them. 4,000%.
Haku is universally known as the toughest dude in pro wrestling history. There's so many stories of Haku getting into legit fights and no one wants to even touch the dude.
After that.
That's hilarious.
There's Joe Cronin.
Pee-wee patch right there. Now, I was looking for... This was not a good show tonight.
Yeah,
And
it wasn't.
SummerSlam is tomorrow night. Or at least night 1 is. Night 1 is the stronger of the 2 nights on paper, easily. By far. The best parts of this show were everything involving Nick Aldis, the return of Haku, and the closing credits, which meant that the show was over. Those are the best parts of SmackDown. We did have one last face-to-face, though, in the closing segment with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. That is our main event for night 1. And they were trying to really drive home the fact that these two, they don't like each other all of a sudden. And they've been at each other's throats. And we had a big pull-apart brawl. They were throwing shots at each other. And we went off the air with a kind of a wild brawl between them. You know, I was looking forward to this match. And look, I still think that they will go out there tomorrow night and have a very good wrestling match. I'm still optimistic about the main event that we are going to get tomorrow. And I didn't think that they needed a terribly long period of time to really put this match together because, again, they've kept them apart. There's not a lot of history there, so whether you gave them 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, you know, it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference. What matters is what do you do in those 3 weeks or 4 weeks when you're putting this match together. And now that we're here, and this was the go-home segment, it leaves a lot to be desired. Because really what we've gotten here to spark the feud, to light the fuse, so to speak, we had the errant belt shot at Saturday night's main event, which was like, okay, I guess if we're going to use that as the spark for this thing, sure. And then they showed footage from a house show yesterday. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Cody Rhodes say that he had a gift for CM Punk at the live event on Thursday night? Isn't that what we heard last week? Well, maybe this was the gift. I mean, the gift was CM Punk they were celebrating after their win, and CM Punk was standing right there, and when Cody turned, Punk basically came up from behind him, went to go tap him, and Cody gave him the most telegraphed back elbow you'll ever see. Maybe that was the gift that he was referring to. I don't know, but it felt very forced. And that's the word I keep coming back to when I think about what we've gotten between these two over the last few weeks. Forced. You know, I mean, I was kind of hoping that as great as they are when it comes to their promos, and Punk, I mean, we know what kind of promo that Punk is, obviously. Cody, when he's on his A game, is also a great promo. And I was kind of hoping that, you know, we would get some stuff, you know, from them that, I don't know, would really kind of light a fire under them, and this would come off as some sort of hot feud, but we didn't get that. And so now we're going into this match this week, and I'm not as fired up for it as I was kind of hoping I would be. And maybe it is the first match, and we get a second one, and going into the second one, things were a little bit different. I don't know. I don't know how quickly after this one we're going to get the second one. But it was not enough, certainly, to save what otherwise, you know, in my opinion, was a bad show. We've had a lot of those, unfortunately, on SmackDown this year. But that closing segment didn't really change my mind of everything else that we got here. And yes, I'm glad that you pointed that out. Somebody mentioned the jacket. Cody Rhodes, it was actually very emblematic, I think, of Cody and his position in the company, that Cody came out for the closing segment tonight in his Club WWE jacket. And well, it wasn't really a Club WWE jacket, but he had a Club WWE patch on his jacket, like a good little soldier. Because today was launch day for Club WWE. Got to remind everybody of that. You got to wear the patch. I didn't see that patch on CM Punk's jacket. He's the WWE champion, but Cody Rhodes had that Club WWE patch right there. But anyway, that was the closing segment. Lash Legend, as I told you she would be. Lash Legend is in the interim Women's Championship ladder match on Sunday. The completely unnecessary interim title match that we're going to be getting. The field of 5 has now been set. Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, who do we have? Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and now Lash Legend. So she is officially in, even though Nia Jax really got hosed. If you think about how things have played out with her qualifying matches over the last couple of weeks. And then Adam Pearce's big decision was to put Lash in there instead of Nia. Again, I'm not advocating for Nia Jax to be in the ladder match. I'd rather have Lash in there than Nia in this situation. But the whole thing was just very, very silly. Meanwhile, details on the funeral service for Julia will be shared once that information becomes available. So once I have that information, I will be able to pass it along to all of you, and then we can all join. Maybe if you can't be there in person, perhaps you can Zoom in. I'll try to provide the Zoom link if one is provided, and maybe we could all say a few words for the career of Julia in WWE, which, if it wasn't over already, came to an abrupt end tonight in about 2 minutes. So we have that as well on the show. I will have some news to share a little bit later on from this week's Observer as it relates to Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and their potential returns to WWE. Save that for later. And we'll go through the rest of this show. Not a whole lot to get excited about. But this is your Friday Night SmackDown review. Even when we have a bad night of SmackDown, we try to have a good night here on the Sound Off. That's what my goal is for tonight. It is Friday. It is the last Friday, the last day of July 31st. There is no July 32nd, 2026. I am the Solemn Monster. Like and subscribe. Super chats are open. I've had a few of them come on in before I went live tonight, so I will be reading those and any new ones that come in. Ban T21 says SmackDown drew 4,500 people tonight. That was in Green Bay. Yeah, that's a far cry from what they did in that building the last time they were there. Don't know if they care. Don't know if they care. I'm sure ticket prices were probably elevated from what they were last time. For all I know, they made more money tonight than they did before, and they may have had twice as many people in the building last time. I don't know. It's certainly indicative of something. Whether or not WWE is getting the message, I don't know. They're expecting in the range of 35,000 people for each night of SummerSlam this weekend. Ordinarily a very healthy crowd. Far cry from what they had at MetLife Stadium last year. We're off the peak, people. They already peaked. We'll see where we are for SummerSlam next year. If SummerSlam even stays 2 nights next year, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. They would much rather try to get a combined 65 or 70,000 people than have one night of 30 or 40. So I think the 2-night SummerSlams are here to stay. But again, get those super chats on in. I'm going to bring up the wheel, and we're going to find out here if we are going to do Be the Booker tonight. I guarantee you that if we do Be the Booker tonight, I will book a better show than the one they gave you. That I can guarantee. But I don't know if that's going to be happening. We need 550 likes. We are at 200 right now. You know, we didn't do it on Wednesday. We did it on Monday. We didn't do it on Wednesday. We may not do it tonight either. It's a good thing we have SummerSlam this weekend. Would it be admitting defeat if they went back to one night of SummerSlam? I don't know. I mean, they're not competing against anybody. I don't know if I would call it defeat. I would say that it would be an admission that business is not what it used to be. How about it? How about it? Indeed. Venom Kitetsu, thank you. That was his idea, by the way. Saw the recent Val Venus footage. No hair and just the beard. Now he looks like Road Dogg. Curious but worrying. I haven't worried about anything Val Venus related in about 27 or 28 years. I know there's footage out there of him gyrating. I have no interest in seeing it, especially, I'm a few hours away from bedtime. It's the last thing I want to have on my mind. Sami Zayn and Finn Balor, they're going to be having a match this Sunday at SummerSlam. To open the show tonight, let me get rid of the wheel here. To open the show tonight, we had Finn Balor. Now, I've called him Win Balor recently instead of Pin Balor because he's actually been stringing together some victories. I know this won't last very long, but he's on a bit of a hot streak. So he came out to the ring to open the show. And he talked about how every time SummerSlam season rolls around, he can't help but think back to 2016. That was the year where he won the Universal Championship. In fact, he was the first ever Universal Champion. He was on the highest of highs when he won the title that night, but it was also followed by the lowest of lows when an injury forced him to relinquish the belt, which was only 24 hours later. And now here we are in 2026. Balor says he spent years scratching and clawing, trying to reach those heights again. With the Balor Club behind him, they were so close to getting back. So what is the stronger club? Balor Club or Club WWE? Sami Zayn interrupted. The last real good guy. Justice for Sami. He had his t-shirt on. And Sami said, look, he understood that this was a very emotional time for Balor, but there were things that he needed to get off his chest. And he bitched and moaned about CM Punk and Cody Rhodes having their match and how it should be a triple threat tomorrow night. Talked about how he wanted Cody Rhodes to win at SummerSlam for the simple reason that he already beat him once and he knows he can do it again. But there was a small part of him that also wanted CM Punk to win. And he called him a hypocrite for becoming a corporate poster boy. Oh, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't the one with the Club WWE patch on his jacket tonight. Balor took issue with Sami saying that he respects him, because Sammy was very deferential to him at first, and he did say that. He did say that he respected him. But Balor told Sammy, look, you got to grow some balls. Come down to the ring to talk, because Sammy was talking from the stage. And Sammy said, you know what? I will. I owe you that much. And he came down to the ring, and he climbed inside. He said that everyone knows how great Balor is, and he probably should have been WWE champion 4 or 5 times by now. And then he corrected himself, and he said, well, maybe more like 2 or 3 times. But he said, look, you had your time. This is my time now. Sammy said it's bigger than him and Balor, though. He said it's about justice. And Balor said, justice? What about my justice? What about Balor's justice? I'm sitting here thinking, what about Sid's justice? Sid would if Sid came out right now, man, Sid would crush these two. Sid would absolutely crush these two. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Sami Zayn actually owns one of the more annoying spots that I've ever seen in my life. And I don't remember what independent show it was from, but many years ago in the El Generico days. Because supposedly Sami Zayn, it's never been confirmed, but he may have been under the El Generico mask. I can't prove it, though. But there was some kind of match, and I think Sid, right, power-bombed Generico. And he totally no-sold it. I wish I could remember all the details, but I mentioned Sid just now, and it made me think of that. So yeah, they're talking about justice. I'm thinking about Sid justice. I'm thinking about anything but the fucking show that I'm watching here. So Sammy said, look, it's been 10 years and Balor never came close. So maybe he should take the hint. Balor said the title, or he held the title, and it got taken away from him due to injury. In Sammy's case, he had the championship, and the reason he lost it is because he lost. Fair and square. Sammy said, well, those sound like fighting words. He said, if Balor was anybody else, he would drop him. But he said he's not going to do that because he's the last real good guy. He said that he would walk away, he would see Balor at SummerSlam. So before he could walk away, Gunther enters the ring from behind Balor and knocks Balor into Zayn. And because, he took great issue with them talking about being the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship, which is what they're fighting for this weekend. Says he's the true number 1 contender. Adam Pearce comes out onto the stage. He's got security with him. He's talking about Gunther, what are you doing? And Gunther, he approaches Pearce and he says he's doing what he has to do to get what's rightfully his. And he went to Pearce and said, what do I have to do? Do I have to beat your ass too? So Balor runs down the aisle. He hits Gunther from behind. Sammy then tosses Balor aside. He starts attacking Gunther. Balor grabs Sammy. They start trading shots until Gunther clotheslined them both, ran them into the barricade. Nick Aldis shows up. And he attacks Gunther in the aisle. He tosses him into the ring. Aldis, he ends up putting him down and locking him in a Texas cloverleaf. And the crowd was giving this a nice ovation. Pearce and the security guards, they intervened. They pulled Aldis to the corner. And Gunther took a cheap shot at him. Both guys had to be separated. I like the segment in this regard. They did, I think, a decent job here of pushing 2 matches in one segment. So you had a very basic back and forth, dialogue here between Sammy and Finn. Again, there's not a whole lot to talk about because this is not some long drawn-out feud. It's this number 1 contenders match that was just kind of put together randomly a week ago. So there's no real history between these two, not recently anyway. And what they said was what you would expect them to say, right? They kind of took shots at each other. I'm going to be number 1 contender. No, I'm going to be number 1 contender. Sammy's doing his bit where, again, justice for Sammy. I've been screwed, and now I'm going to get what's mine. See, that's what you got. But then Gunther comes in, and they weaved it right on into Gunther and Nick Aldis. So I like what they did there. Aldis, and there was more stuff later on with Aldis. The limited stuff that we got regarding Nick Aldis on this show was some of the best parts of the show. And I don't know how many of you saw the interview that he did with Chris Van Vliet. But in the course of the interview, Chris was, talking to him about this match that's coming up and why it means so much to him. And Aldis got very emotional. He couldn't even speak for it felt like a minute straight. He was trying to compose himself. He was crying. He had tears in his eyes. And he said, this is his one shot. And I've said it before, this is a moment for him that he has been waiting for many, many years. He never wanted to come to WWE with the idea of being a general manager or any kind of manager, right? He wanted to wrestle. In TNA, he was a wrestler, TNA World Heavyweight Champion. In the NWA, he spent 5 years in the NWA. Combined over 1,000 days working for Billy Corgan as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Wrestled Cody Rhodes at the first All-In, in fact, in an NWA title match. To come to WWE and not be a GM, right? He wanted to be a wrestler. They didn't have any interest in him at that time in that role. They had a specific role for him. Over the last 3 years, he's taken that role, and I think he's knocked it out of the park. He's done very well with it. I still see this as being a one-off for the time being. I don't really have any expectation that this is going to be a regular thing and they're just going to find the new GM and all this is just going to be a wrestler from now on. But I think if all goes well tomorrow, this will absolutely lead to more in-ring opportunities for him. And he'll probably end up back in the GM role, which I think is still the right role for him. But it all depends on how things go tomorrow. And I'm pulling for him. I hope everything goes well. I hope the two of them go out there and they have a killer match. And then one match begets two, two begets three, and so on and so forth. Because that was always the guy's dream. He's not getting any younger. If he's going to get in the ring and he's going to do stuff, now's the time to do it. He's got a whole roster of people to work with who, in most cases, he's not ever worked with before. Worked with Cody. Beyond Cody, I'd have to go back and check. I don't know who else on the current roster he would have been in the ring with, but I'm sure that number is not very great. But this match, legit. Not as like a wrestling promo or storyline. This match means a lot to him. He's got a lot riding on this match. He's got a lot of pressure on him that I'm sure he's putting on himself for this match tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. As far as Balor and Sammy, I've got Balor winning on Sunday. I think what they also did here is they set things up perfectly because I think Balor's going to win. He's going to become the number one contender. I think coming out of this weekend, they've set things in motion for a program between Balor and Gunther. The match that we were deprived of 6 years ago because of the pandemic was supposed to happen in Dublin. He was still Walter at the time. And we never got that match. Now, I think since then they've wrestled maybe once on TV. But now we have a chance to have a proper feud between them. Because I've asked that question in recent weeks as I go over it in my head. Okay, we get to SummerSlam. Gunther's going to beat Aldis. Anything else to me is ridiculous. Especially if Aldis is not going to be a full-time performer. What the hell does he need to win for? But then coming out of SummerSlam, it's well, where do you go with Gunther? He was doing the WWE title thing for a while. It feels to me like he's going to be out of that picture for a bit. I've given up on speculating about when we're going to get Ilya Dragunov back. I'm sure he'll be back at some point. It could be next week. It could be next year. I'm done wondering about it. If Gunther is still on the SmackDown roster when Dragunov eventually comes back, it's a natural feud, right? It would be a sin for them to be on the same roster and for WWE to never go in that direction. Without knowing when he's going to be back, though, I got my eyes on Gunther and Balor. I think that could be where we're headed after SummerSlam. We had Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green taking on B-Fab and Michin, the baddies, in tag team action here with Jade Cargill in their corner. Stratton got a hot tag about midway through. She dropped Michin with the float-over cartwheel Alabama slam. Went up top for the Swanton bomb. Michin, though, kicked out at 2. Jade took Tiffany out on the outside, threw her right into the steel steps. Back inside, Chelsea got Michin with a drop kick. B-Fab, though, tagged in. And the two of them put her down with their finish. I didn't catch the name of their finish. They haven't teamed together very often enough for them to even establish a real tag team finish. Whatever it is, though, they were able to pick up the win. So they were celebrating when the match was over, and they were interrupted by Charlotte Flair's music. And Charlotte Flair walks out. She's wearing a jacket. Now, I know they were in Green Bay. I don't know what the current temperature is in Green Bay. How cold could Green Bay possibly be? We're at the beginning of August. However it is, Charlotte walked out in the biggest, most oversized jacket. She could fit. I wouldn't be shocked. They could have done an angle tonight where Alexa Bliss was hiding under the jacket. What a reveal that would have been. She gets in the ring and unzips the jacket, and Alexa comes out, throws a fucking fireball in Jade's face. It was like George Costanza on Seinfeld with the puffy jacket. Okay, this thing was gigantic. So she's standing there, and Jade has her back turned to, all three of the baddies are looking at Charlotte. But what Jade doesn't realize, nor Meechin nor BFAB, is that Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green are up on the floor outside, and they reach in, they pull out the baddies. So now Jade is all by herself in the ring. Hell, that is. We had Fraxium and we had Dragon Lee. They were having a conversation in the back when they were approached by Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. And they got in a back and forth exchange here, which led to a challenge being made for Rey Fenix to defend his AAA Cruiserweight Championship later in the show against JD McDonough, who said, you know what, it's about time I bring singles gold to the Judgment Day. I'm going to go talk to Adam Pearce. Then we got a video with Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga talking about how they forgot who they were and why they're here. Well, perhaps they should see a doctor. And the AAA Tag Team Championship. We had the War Raiders putting their AAA titles on the line against Damian Priest and R-Truth. I don't know that either one of these teams, by the way, got an entrance here on this show. But this was big time, man. And the crowd in Green Bay, well, I don't know. Somebody forgot to clue them in as to the historical significance of this match. But I shall try to do it justice by giving you a very succinct description here. They went to a commercial break, as they do for every other match on this show. They came back. Damian Priest took Ivar off the top with a Rana. Eric, though, had blind tagged himself into the match. So they took Priest up and down with a pop-up power slam. They covered him. Truth, though, jumped in to break up the pin. So the War Raiders, they were going after R-Truth. And as they were fighting him, they shoved Charles Robinson aside. Now, that's just something you don't do, okay? You don't put your hands on Lil Nate. And he was willing to let that slide. And he goes back, and now they're all fighting now. Damian Priest is in there. And he shoves Charles Robinson down to the mat. And that's it. At that point now, you've had these men put their hands on you 2 different times. There's nothing left to do but call for the disqualification. Call for the bell. The fans. That's the lamest, most unenthusiastic. Boo. Yeah, they weren't very happy about that. The fight continues, though. They end up brawling into the crowd to a very tame reaction from said crowd. Truth got up on the barricade while they were in the crowd. He did a splash off the barricade onto everybody. They fought their way back to ringside. And here's Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga. And they're back in the face paint. The dead president's makeup. They got it back on their face here. So they take everybody out. And including in the ring, Tama Tonga hit his not-so-hidden blade. The cutthroat, as he calls it. And then I look, and all of a sudden, I don't know, it's like he teleported himself. I don't know where he came from. I guess he walked down the aisle. I don't know, but Haku was there in the ring with his walking stick. I think it's a walking stick. It looked like a staff. It almost looked like something that Skeletor would, the Skeletor, maybe they could get, if you got Skeletor to manage the MFTs, I still wouldn't give a fuck. But Haku is there, and his sons are holding up both sets of tag team titles, and it appears that Haku is going to be a regular character on TV. You know, we lost Lil Yachty. I've noticed he hasn't been on TV for a couple of weeks. If we traded Lil Yachty for Haku, I'm okay with that. The fact that he is now with his sons, and they were holding up the tag team titles, guarantees they're winning the titles soon. Not the AAA ones, the WWE ones. AAA ones don't matter on this show. Haku is scarier than Skeletor. Well, I mean, that is true. That is true. Really, if you know anything about Skeletor, he's very goofy. He's very goofy. He'll say something and then he'll run off. Haku would never run away. Not before he plucks your eyeballs out of your skull. It is kind of funny to me, though, now that we have Haku on television. After Jacob Fatu adopted the Tongan death grip and has done a great disservice to it by not winning a single match with it. If I were him, I would just give it up and let Haku, being that he's on TV now, let Haku do it. He's the only one that should be doing it if he's actually going to be on these shows. Let him have the Tongan death grip. As far as the match itself, it was okay until the absolutely just fucking lame finish, which rendered this match completely useless. They promoted this thing. I know it wasn't like a significant promotion and people didn't really care, but they promoted this match in various backstage segments for weeks and weeks. And then they do it and they do that finish. It's so fucking lame. It's so lame. Haku with the Tongans, it adds a new dimension to them. Look, I've talked about how these tag team divisions on Raw and SmackDown are dead. Okay? They're dead. They virtually don't exist. They just don't have enough teams to sustain separate divisions. Even if you combine them, tag team wrestling in WWE has, I don't think, ever been as bad as it is right now. And it's not because they don't have talent in the company who could kind of fill those roles. If you look at the teams that they have the Street Profits, I guess the Vision, right? The Street Profits, the Vision. You've got the MFT, I'll still call them the MFTs. Priest and Truth, I'm sorry, they're not a real team. The War Raiders, you have Fraxium, you have Los Garza. Who else am I missing here? You want to count Dom and JD? I mean, they're not a real team. You want to put the Judgment Day in there, though? I guess you could do that. Again, it's the Usos. Okay, I forgot about the Usos. Got the Usos as well, right? It's not much of a division because there's no emphasis on tag team wrestling. So when it comes to it, like, I was mocking it before, but you have a champion versus champion title for title match on this show, right? That they've been hyping up for weeks. Winner take all. Both sets of tag team belts are on the line. There's a reason why nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. Given the stakes that were in this match, did it sound to you like the fans in Green Bay, Wisconsin gave a fuck about this match? And if I polled every single person watching this right now, okay, you can't tell me that the vast majority of people either A, even remembered this match was booked for this show, or B, tuned into the show tonight specifically because they were excited to see this match. I don't believe you. I think you're a liar. There's a reason for that, though. Because the fans have not been given a reason to think that any of these belts are meaningful in any way. Because tag team wrestling is not considered meaningful in any way on these shows. So it's sad, when I talk about a match like this that should be a big deal, it doesn't feel like it. And that's not on the War Raiders. That's not on R-Truth. That's not on Damian Priest. That's on Paul Levesque and Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes or Paul Heyman or whoever is sitting in that fucking room that we see on Unreal. It's on them. It's on them. They aired footage of CM Punk and Cody Rhodes sharing the ring together after their match. They had a tag team match at the live event in Springfield last night. Cody handed Punk the belt and patted him on the shoulder. And then he turned around and
All Domino's pizzas are half off however you order. But hurry, it's the...
Due to an injury over... Oh, my goodness. Well, we gotta get the acoustics in the beer garden fixed, Jesse. What's going on, bro? We're outside. We shouldn't be echoing like that. Come on now, bro. I got Beef Cheeto with $100 super chat. Thank you, gentlemen, so very much. Beef Cheeto and Beantown are going head-to-head on the wheel now. They got 10 spots on the wheel as of right now. We need 8 more for the goal. And then everybody's getting an extra spot on the wheel. Appreciate you guys very much, man. Thank you for the energy. We're going to look to round out the month of July, which I believe is the best month of July we've ever had. Just numbers-wise and audience-wise, best July we've ever had. So thank you very much for all that. Love the energy. Keep it up all night, man. I'm going to need your energy because tonight this show sucked my energy. This show was utterly boring. All pro wrestling in 2026 is utterly boring. Raw was absolutely abysmal garbage. Dynamite was largely nothing. I had so many people, you're nothing but a rage beta, JD, about Wednesday's Dynamite. The show was boring! And tonight, Friday Night SmackDown, outside of Sami Zayn and Finn Balor that opened the show, I can't really point to anything that's gotten me excited about SummerSlam. Summer Scam coming off of the Blue brand. You know, I can sit here and start this off with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. I can sit here and talk about how Cody Rhodes admitted that nobody wants to see any more brother, I love you, brother. Nobody wants to see that. We didn't want to see that the moment they opened their mouths. I could sit here and talk about Cody and CM Punk in the main event segment, the final face-to-face before their main event match tomorrow night at Summerslam. I could sit here and talk about how great Sami Zayn was in that opening promo, cutting a little bit of his own pipe bomb. I am not going to start this show off this fine Friday evening with Sami Zayn, CM Punk, or Cody Rhodes. I am going to start tonight's stream off talking about the absolute disgusting injustice that WWE has brought down upon our lovely Julia. That's what I'm going to start off with. I have one question to ask. I'm not going to yell. I may yell here and there, but it's not going to be anywhere close to what I said on Monday with Danhausen. I have to ask WWE Creative, if anybody's there listening to me, or if it eventually gets to somebody there, maybe someone shadow watching or hate watching or watching from a multiple burner, I don't know. What is the point? What is the point of importing a talent like Julia to the United States? You know, at some point in the recruitment process, somebody legitimately went to Japan, or somebody here in the United States scouted Julia from afar, with maybe an eye and an ear that works for WWE over in Japan, maybe like a sister partner or something like that, an affiliation partner in Japan. WWE clearly caught wind of Julia and her talents, and obviously her beauty. She's a beautiful woman. What is the point point of importing a talent such as Julia, who's got everything that you could possibly ask for a superstar in the women's division? What is the point of bringing her in if you're going to fucking bury her on the main roster? What is the point of bringing Julia in if you're going to basically send her out there with absolutely no heat? What is the point of giving her a United States Championship twice and do nothing with both United States Championship title reigns? What is the point of pairing her with Kiana James for months and it did nothing for either woman? What was the point of the pairing if you weren't going to build something from it? For Kiana, for Julia, what was the point? Why is it that fans sit here every single fucking Friday, every single Monday, and you consume this fucking hideous garbage, this slop that WWE presents to you, and you willingly just allow them to waste your time? If I am being shown something for as long as we've seen Kiana and Julia, and it leads to nothing, and it benefits nobody, and it doesn't make either party, in this case, better off for it, it doesn't propel one to at least a higher level on the WWE card in the women's division, what is the fucking point? What is the point? This woman has undergone more style changes. This woman has undergone more haircuts, looks to her appearance. She's undergone more changes aesthetically to make herself even more beautiful, and WWE does nothing with her. She's undergone more changes than WWE creative. I don't understand why. I would legitimately love someone to answer this question for me. It's a downright fucking disgusting situation. Disgusting. In a women's division right now that's missing Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Liv Morgan's holding a belt that she just refuses to defend. Stephanie Vaquer is out. In a division that you have Michin and B-Fab and Jade Cargill, who are absolutely fucking charisma vacuums of the umpteenth degree that do absolutely nothing for this show in any meaningful way whatsoever, and all three of them disappeared, nobody would fucking even realize they are gone. In a division that houses Nia Jax and Lash Legend, you refuse to push Julia. In a division that hasn't featured Blake Monroe in any meaningful way in about 2 months now. In a division that has seemingly put Jordan Grace on the back of a fucking milk carton and nobody knows where she is. I never seen a single company waste so much talent in all my years, collectively at the same time, that I've seen WWE waste their women's division and most of their men's roster. And if you aren't going to speak up, I certainly am going to speak the fuck up. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, but she's not going to make any money, JD. Oh, she doesn't have the right look, JD. Oh, she doesn't speak English, JD. Fuck you, and shut the fuck up. Anybody that's thinking along those wavelengths, you can kindly shut the fuck up. Why, because she doesn't look like Lash Legend? Lash Legend she couldn't tell the difference between a wrist lock and a fucking Casio G-Shock. Give me a fucking break. The woman is fucking awful. Awful. She's in the same boat as Jade Cargill. Did you hear the reaction that both women got tonight? I don't know what you guys were watching, but I certainly had my ears perked up, and I had my fucking eyes glued to the television. Did you know what I heard? You know what I heard? I heard nothing. Absolutely nothing. I heard a dwindling crowd in Green Bay, less than 4,500 people for Friday Night SmackDown, and an arena full of empty motherfucking seats because this creative team has driven so many people away because they refuse to fucking write captivating television. We were bearing witness to Julia and Lash Legend. Lash Legend comes out and gets zero reaction. Julia comes out. She doesn't even get a fucking entrance. We go to commercial break after Lash Legend makes half of an entrance, and we come back and Julia's already in the ring. And I swear to God, if you blinked, the fucking match was over. If you blinked, the match was over. 2 minutes, exactly. 120 seconds, exactly. And Julia is defeated. Julia is buried. B-U-R-I-E-D, buried. You know what I heard during that match, chat? I watched two women in that ring wrestling in what sounded like an empty arena. That says a lot more than I could ever articulate verbally. What that says is that it's a clear indictment on WWE Creative. It is absolutely a scary thought that both of those women went out there and got legitimately a zero reaction in the form of basically an empty arena with 4,500 people in it. WWE just cannot create captivating stars that the audience genuinely cares for. They don't know how to create a single fucking new star. Everybody but Obafemi, of course, which they're going all in on. They get stars in their eyes and they're off to the fucking races. I don't know why we can't build stars all at the same time in handfuls. I don't know why we can't build someone like Julia. I don't know why we can't build someone like Blake Monroe. I don't know why we can't build somebody like Trick Williams and a Carmelo Hayes and a Ricky Saints and a Braun Breaker and an Obafemi all at the same motherfucking time. Do you know why they can't? Because they don't have the brain power. They don't have the mental capacity to do that. They can only handle one little task at the same fucking time. All 12 of those motherfuckers in the writing room that sit around looking like fucking dumb motherfuckers. Every single fucking one of them making six figures to write this fucking television show. Every single motherfucking one of them should be on the fucking chopping block. What do they do all day? What? I would love someone to fucking tell me what these fucking people do all day. This? Yeah, we'll send Julia out there and bury her in 120 seconds. It doesn't fucking matter. You were better off giving Lash Legend just a fucking spot in the ladder match just because. Then we get Triple H basically telling everybody he wished. Let me read this fucking quote to you. I bookmarked it on my Twitter. Then he goes and has an interview on Busted Open Radio. And he says he wishes fans could put their passion for WWE into the talent as opposed to blaming the writing. He says, and I quote, that passion is what drives people. It's no different than the NFL, where guys that have never played a down of football in their life or haven't played since Pee-wee or whatever are screaming and ranting, this coach sucks. He knows nothing about football. doesn't understand the game. Why would he run that play? Why wouldn't he do this? Why wouldn't they draft that guy? There's a million reasons why, but it's that passion. Just like the NFL or NBA or Major League Baseball, people sit on the couch and yell, "I'm done. I'm never watching the Knicks again. They suck."
Well, Frank,
and then they win,
I'd rather live
and now
a
they're the
peaceful
greatest
life
thing
than deal
ever.
with
It's
hate.
amazing. It's passion. At the end of the day, it's why we do what we do. What do you do, Paul? From what I see and from where I'm sitting, what we do is write terrible fucking television. I wish sometimes we could put that passion into the talent, as opposed to when somebody gets the heat in our business.
I'm
It's
saying
like,
I need
God,
separation
why
from
would
some
they
of
write
these
that
all-stars.
way? As opposed to, that no good piece of crap did this. There's something to saying that innocence
nothing gets
of not knowing, and it's still being real to me, damn it. But it is what it is. I love that. I love the hate. I love the love. It's all passion for what we do. He said this to Dave LaGreca on Busted Open Radio. He wishes the fans could put their passion for WWE into the talent as opposed to blaming the writing. Let me ask you something, Paul. Did you hear all of the 4,500 people tonight as your audience continues to dwindle every fucking week because the show fucking sucks? Did you hear all 4,500 people tonight? I think that's a great sample size for what I'm about to say. The passion that you want from us to go into the talent. 4,500 fucking people couldn't give a single fucking shit. Not a singular fucking shit about Julia or Last Legend or anything on this show because the show fucking sucks. The writing sucks. You're asking us to show passion towards the characters on television. Did you show passion for burying Julia in 90 fucking seconds? Is that what you call passion? Is that what you call passion? Because if that's the passion that you're showing the fucking talent, and then you're asking us to care about the talent, nobody's gonna give a singular fuck about anything that you're doing. Yes, please show that type of passion towards the talent, and not me, who is basically behind all the fucking creative that you see. My name is at the end credits, so I want you to know I was the executive producer, and I'm the head of creative, and I'm the chief content officer. No, put that passion into the fucking talent. Please don't say nasty, mean things, Mr. JD, about me on your podcast. I don't want that negativity. Motherfucker, who do you want me to blame? Who would you like me to blame? Point me in the direction, and I'll fucking do the same thing to them. Who would you like me to blame? You have made it abundantly clear that you are the guy. Who would you like me to blame? Tell me when I'm telling any lies. Please. Please. This motherfucker has the fucking balls. This, of all talent in the fucking company, this motherfucker has the balls to go out there publicly on WWE radio and tell its fan base, basically, no, don't say anything bad about me. I wish you would focus your energy into the talent. So you want me to blame the talent. You want me to boo the talent. You want me to curse the talent. that what you want me to do? You don't want me to mention anything about how fucking terrible your show is and how terrible the writing is. You want me to blame the talent for everything that we're getting. Is that what you want me to do? Of all motherfuckers in this entire industry, a guy who has basically lived a fucking career that fucking generations, that lifetimes would die to have. A motherfucker who grew up in a period through the boom periods, through the Attitude Era, and had his fucking life single-handedly change because he married the boss's daughter. He wants me to sit here and listen to his fucking verbal slop of all talent in the industry. It's coming from him. When he knows good and well better than anybody, the characters on the show that he supposedly wants us to show passion to, the characters are on the show. They're as boring could be because the writing sucks. His writing sucks. They're not over because his writing sucks. The sounds of silence that come from the arena every single week, it's because his writing sucks. The characters on the show that we watch weekly are only as good as the writing that is given to them. If the writing sucks, then we are going to blame the writing. We're not blaming the fucking talent. Of all fucking people in this industry, this motherfucker's got the fucking gall to go out there publicly on WWE radio and try and deflect the blame. Try and convince us that, oh, it's not me. Put that passion into the talent. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I legitimately have brain cells killed by the hundreds listening to fucking someone like Triple H speak. He would be better off not even fucking addressing the public in any meaningful way whatsoever ever again. Not on WWE radio, not on ESPN, not on this fucking show and that fucking show and all these different appearances he makes. That's the slop that comes out of his mouth? All I know tonight, chat, all I know tonight is that the cerebral assassin, a guy known as the cerebral assassin, basically killed Julia's fucking career in a span of fucking 8 months. Any questions, Triple H? Is Tommy Dreamer going to ask you about that one, or is he going to continue to glaze fucking Danhausen and Joe Hendry from Monday, claiming it was a good segment? Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. If nobody else with a major platform is going to be asking these questions, if nobody else with a major platform is going to be fucking calling this shit out, you better fucking believe it's going to be me first and foremost, leading that fucking line, leading that army of people, wanting to know why. Why? Let me see them make Lash Legend the interim champion. Let me see. Of all fucking people in that match, Lash Legend? If Charlotte Flair does not walk away with the championship on fucking whatever night it's taking place, tomorrow. Why? Because our precious Rhea Ripley, he didn't want to take the belt of little Rhea Ripley. I can't take the belt of Rhea Ripley. She's my in-work girlfriend. Stephanie, I can't do it, honey. What, so we put the title on Lash Legend, who barely gets a fucking reaction? I swear to God, it was like I was out for a morning jog at fucking 12 midnight, middle of the summer, and all I hear is fucking crickets. In fact, the morning jog at midnight with the sound of crickets made more noise than they did for Lash Legend tonight. Yes, let's crown her the women's champion. Are you fucking kidding me? This show sucks. Plain and simple. This may have been one of the worst overall weeks in all of pro wrestling. Raw was abysmal. Dynamite was fucking ridiculously just complete garbage. Everybody that claimed Dynamite did what it needed to do, you're a fucking idiot. You clearly watched a different show than I did. And tonight's SmackDown was legitimately a waste of everybody's time. A waste of everybody's time. We're going to get into this show tonight. This is your SmackDown post show right here for your July 31st, 2026. Super chat in. The crowd starts chanting, Sammy sucks, Sammy sucks. Sammy said those sounded like fighting words, and he would drop him where he stood right now because he can, but he's not. Because he's the last real good guy in WWE. So then he said, you know what, I'm going to walk away. So Gunther comes out of nowhere and blasts Finn Balor from behind, and he takes out Sami Zayn. He takes both of them out with clotheslines. He grabs the microphone and says that they were both jokes and that he was the rightful #1 contender. So Adam Pearce is on the stage, and he's yelling at Gunther. He's yelling. There's no microphone in his hand. He's just yelling at Gunther, asking him what he's doing, what he's doing. Gunther asked what he had to do to get what he felt was his. And he said, if I have to beat your ass like I'm going to beat Aldis's ass at SummerSlam, I am going to do that. So Balor runs up the aisleway. He attacks Gunther from behind. Zayn then attacks Balor from behind. And Gunther took both of them out with a double clothesline in the aisleway. Nick Aldis then came out and fought Gunther into the ring. And he quickly had Gunther downed, and he immediately went for a Texas Cloverleaf. He put it on, and my God, did he put it on emphatically. He could not wait to turn him over and get him in that Texas Cloverleaf. Gunther broke free. He laid Aldis out with a big boot, and that's eventually when both were separated from each other, from officials and referees and agents. We had a hot start to Friday Night SmackDown. So all this did, really, was keep Gunther in the discussion for a WWE Championship match post-SummerSlam, which I do expect him to beat Nick Aldis. I do not expect Aldis to win because if Gunther loses, I mean, it's just a lost cause. There's nowhere for Gunther to go. Gunther almost has to win 100%. Aldis is winning anyway, even if he loses, because he's in a ring with Gunther at SummerSlam for the first time in WWE. So that's a win in itself. Because nobody thought that this would actually become a thing. Nobody thought that this would happen. Gunther needs to win. So Gunther, in this segment, keeping everybody on notice. I'm coming for the title. As soon as I get done with all this, I'm coming for the title. So the fans and management and everybody know Gunther is still very much dead set on the WWE Championship, and that's exactly where he needs to be. So it sold Gunther and Aldis, and then at the same time it sold Sammy still wanting the title, Balor wanting the title. They're wrestling one-on-one in what should be a great match on Sunday night. #1 contender for the WWE Championship. I think Finn Balor's going to win. I think the story here is Sammy basically continuing the Injustice storyline, because if he wins and then he loses, he can't really cry injustice anymore. So I could see this becoming the Sami Zayn trope. Injustice, Sammy is screwed, management screwed Sammy, Cody Rhodes screwed Sammy, CM Punk screwed Sammy, Balor is going to end up winning. We're probably looking at Balor and Punk again on neutral territory. The first time was in Ireland, second time was in Chicago, Elimination Chamber, third one will be on neutral territory. WWE did a decent job at building both of these matches while also at the same time continuing to keep people in the mindset of Gunther is not going anywhere and he still wants the WWE Championship. Best thing on the show? Yes. Sami Zayn. Chelsea Green. She's with Tiffany Stratton. They're wearing matching outfits. And they're all cordial with each other. I'm expecting someone to turn on the other. If I'm turning anyone heel, it is Tiffany Stratton on Chelsea Green. I just get a sense that eventually at some point, someone is going to turn on the other, and it's got to be Tiffany turning on Chelsea. Babyface Tiffany Stratton is not good. I don't find a fucking thing interesting about babyface Tiffany Stratton. The best work that Tiffany did is when she was in NXT as a heel. And I don't really care what role Chelsea plays. Heel, babyface, she's good at both. But Tiffany needs more of a change than Chelsea does. And I think everybody kind of agrees with that. So they're in the ring, they have a match, unfortunately, together. We got another bomb in here. Holy fucking shit. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit! My guy, Sith Negan. The enemy designed with a $500 super chat motherfucking bomb. Oh my goodness. Long time no see. Here's an OTS Sith Negan bomb to celebrate 8 straight years as a $100 per month Patreon member. Fuck WWE and AEW mainstream corporate bore and snore non-professional wrestling straight to hell. JD, keep on bringing the undisputed truth, professional wrestling content. No time for shills or sellouts. End of the line. Hashtag the enemy designed. Oh my goodness. I think we know who won tonight's wheel, huh? Brother, I gotta put my guy Sith Negan on the wheel 50 fucking times. I don't really think that's fair. So what we'll do is we're gonna send. I don't know if he has it or not. I don't think you have any of the merch. So I gotta send my guy Sith Negan some merch instead of putting him on the wheel. He's in a league of his own over here. So I'm not going to put him on the wheel. We're going to send him some merch. We're going to send him 2 hats. We're going to send him a mug. Brother, it's the fucking least I can do. Everybody else remains the same. You will be on the wheel. My guy, Sith, is not going to be on the wheel. We're just going to send him some merch. That is fucking incredible. That is legitimately incredible. Brother, reach out to me on Patreon. Give me your name, full name and address. I'm going to send that out to you next week. I got to send out, I know Chairshot's waiting on his, and I got Dingleberry waiting on his. Phil should be getting his hopefully this weekend. So I got to send those 2 boys their merch. I got to send Sith his merch. Thank you, brother. Listen, I don't know. He has the cup? I have the cup. Brother, I'll send you another one. The only thing I got right now until I get some new merch. I got to get some new merch. I'm trying to blow through this, and we're going to bulk order some new merch. Trying to think about what that could be. But I'll send you another one, brother. I don't know if you got the hats. I'll send you the fucking hats. I'll send you whatever I got. Stickers or fucking whatever I got. I don't know. I don't know what I got. I don't know what I got. That's fucking crazy. That's legitimately crazy, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. You know, a lot of people, you know what bothers me? You know what bothers me? A lot of people have made videos. A lot of people have spoke out of turn when it comes to what I said about the WWE radio thing. There is legitimately nothing on this planet that would get me to sign and sell out or leave you people behind in any way whatsoever. I can't do it. If I was offered a gig at WWE Radio or with a platform that is just going to suppress what I say and tell me what I have to do and what I can't say and what I can't do and this and that, all this other nonsense, never in 1,000 lifetimes. Never in 1,000 lifetimes. The only way that this exists, if it's taken somewhere else to a higher level and it exists the same way that it is right now. That's it. I love how people all just, you know, oh, JD would sell out in a minute if he was offered a WWE radio spot. Would I? Would I? How do you know that? How do you know that? People love speaking as if they know who I am. They know what I do. They know who I am. They know my life in and out. They know where I live. They know what I do on a day-to-day basis. They think they know, but they don't. There's no legitimate reason for me to take a serious gig with WWE Radio at this current time when I'm pretty sure I have more support here and I'm making yearly more than I would make with SiriusXM. No, but please continue to tell me exactly what you know or think you know about me. We'd really love to hear your story on that. Ridiculous. That's fucking incredible. What if WWE offered me Stephanie Vicaire? I mean, in what way? In what way, Cleveland? In what way? Would she have to dump Miles Bourne? How you know? Fill a round of applause, man. I know. That's incredible, man. That is incredible. Oh my God, man, the support sometimes you guys show me leaves me in utter shock. It's crazy. So yes, Tiffany Stratton, heel turn is a must. It's a must. It's gotta happen. This match went 7 minutes. Legitimately went to a commercial, I would say 60 seconds in. So we got 3 minutes of commercial and 4 minutes of a tag team match that legitimately nobody cared about. So we'll pick it up at the end here. Michin goes up top. She meets Chelsea Green up top. Chelsea knocked her down, hit a missile dropkick. B-Fab tagged in. Chelsea got her in position for an unprettier. Michin super kicked Green to break up the pinfall off the unprettier. All of a sudden, the baddies get involved quickly, and they hit their double team finish, which is a BTA double team face buster for the 1, 2, 3. And the crowd goes mild. I don't know why this continues to get airtime. I don't know why this continues to get airtime. This is trending towards get the fuck off my television bad. It honestly was never interesting, and now it's becoming more of a chore than anything to sit through this garbage. Just turn Tiffany Stratton and get this fucking shit over with. Charlotte Flair's music played. She slowly walked to the ring wearing this leather outfit. Her underwear was showing. She's got this leather jacket on. She takes off this jacket. Tiffany and Chelsea took out the not-so-baddies. Cargill's in the ring all by herself. They have a face-to-face, and then they start trading blows. Cargill even makes a one-on-one fight look unnatural. Her selling in just this type of element is also so unnatural. She is complete dog shit in every sense of the word. She cannot do a fucking thing right. She's terrible. She is legitimately terrible. She missed a pump kick, Flair countered with a big boot, and that forced Chelsea, or Jade rather, to retreat up the ramp, while Chelsea and Tiffany stay back, and it's three baby faces against these three baby faces. Man, I can't wait for that to be a six-woman tag team match next week on Friday Night SmackDown. Man, I can't wait to miss that one. For Axiom, they're standing with Ray Phoenix. They're having a chat about something. I don't know what the fuck they're having a chat about. What was Titus cooking up and catering, chat? Is that what they were talking about, being that the Fraxian boys can't buy their way onto television? Hey, Ray Phoenix, that was a good cheesecake and catering, wasn't it? Man, that strawberry drizzle was delicious. Oh, I enjoyed the crumb cake, Nathan. I thought that was even better. That's the discussion that they're having. J.D. McDonough and Dominic Mysterio, they interrupt this promo. Axiom asked them what they were doing there. They said they were looking for Danhausen. Danhausen needs to be off my TV effective immediately. Do you know our Danhausen clip on Instagram did almost 150,000 impressions? 6,000 likes? And every single comment in the comment section, I had to turn them off. I was legitimately losing brain cells. I was losing hundreds of brain cells per hour reading the fucking comments. Oh, why don't you stop watching it? Oh, Danhausen makes the money. That's why he's on TV. Oh, it's a kid's show, and you're an adult yelling at a kid's TV show. Stop watching, JD. Why don't you just go watch something else, JD? Stop watching, JD. Stop watching. Change the channel, stop watching, go watch something else, go find a new job, go get a real job, stop watching. Thanks for telling me that what I said was factually correct and the segment was dog shit. Stop watching. Everybody that chimed in with stop watching is actively a part of ruining the product. Had to shut the comments off. And then I had people angry enough to reach out in my private messages telling me that I don't deserve the platform that I have because I dislike Danhausen. Gotta love pro wrestling fans, huh? Gotta love pro wrestling fans. And then I had the sickos on Wednesday come at me because I didn't like Commander versus Jon Moxley. Or Ricochet winning the trios titles. Or the fact that I watched a 2-hour and 34-minute Dynamite, and maybe 20 minutes of it was appealing. If it's not the E-bots, it's the sickos. I can't win. Oh, stop watching, JD. Why don't you just go watch something else? So basically what this did was set up J.D. McDonough versus Ray Phoenix for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. Can I ask a legitimate question, chat? Can I ask a legitimate question? Why is WWE? Now, I know that they're trying to build promotion for AAA going into Triple Mania. It's coming up next month. I get it. It's like a month and a half away. I understand it. I'm not dumb, okay? But why is WWE so pushy on showcasing the Cruiserweight Championship and the AAA Tag Team Championships on WWE proper, on SmackDown, when they have all these other titles that they have and they do nothing with them? Trick Williams doesn't defend his United States Championship. He's defending his title against Baron Corbin on Sunday. Tag team titles, AAA tag team titles. They got no tag team division that they got to go borrow tag teams from AAA. The War Raiders, by the way, are a Monday Night Raw tag team who were never really officially moved to Friday Night SmackDown, who went to AAA and won the tag team championships down there, and now all of a sudden find themselves on Friday Night SmackDown. Because the SmackDown tag team division is just horrendous. And no teams exist in the SmackDown tag team division outside of Damian Priest and R-Truth, who are not really a tag team. The War Raiders, and then you got Fraxium, who there are no teams in the division for Fraxium to even showcase themselves against. Why does WWE find themselves in a position where they are showcasing championships from AAA and not the championships that exist and live on Friday Night SmackDown? This company couldn't be fucking bothered to put Rey Fenix on the actual show when he wasn't the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. Now, all of a sudden, he's got matches with Nathan Frazier, and he's got matches with Axiom, he's got matches with JD McDonough. Why didn't you want to book Rey Fenix before he won the AAA Cruiserweight Championship? Now, why do you want to feature him all of a sudden? Was he not good then? Was he not the same Rey Fenix then? What makes him so special now that he's the Cruiserweight Champion? WWE looks down on Cruiserweights. They exiled the Cruiserweight Championship. We never seen another Cruiserweight Classic. Now all of a sudden they want me to think that they're all of a sudden all in on Cruiserweights. How is this something that is decided upon in the writing room? This show is all over the place. These people are all over the place. Tama Tonga and Tola Tonga, they had a pre-tape vignette. They said that they were forgotten, and they forgot who they were and why they were here. They said they were too busy fighting Solo Sikoa's battles and lost sight of the gold. From now on, they said they would put their family first from now on. And we hear a voice in the background. These are the sons that I need. And we saw a figure wearing black walking towards with a cane. Camera shoots up and we see standing in the middle between Tama Tonga and Tola Tonga, Haku. Someone walking with a cane approached and it was revealed to be Haku. He speaks in Tongan, not to forget who they are, the sons of Haku. Now, first of all, seeing Haku, a legend, on WWE television in 2026 was legitimately a breath of fresh air.
Back there.
I commend WWE for taking the path
If I said that.
to try and rebuild Tama Tonga and Tola Tonga. I appreciate the fact that maybe, I don't know if this is going to be a thing that lasts or if it's just a one appearance, two appearance deal. I appreciate them finding these guys a legitimate mouthpiece and a manager.
Life NBA stars in all 5-star hotels and
Because
velvet ropes.
having anybody out there with them is better than not having anybody out there with them. This is certainly a way to make them interesting. It gives them a story, it gives them a background, and it gives them a reason. It gives them a meaning. We now know who they are. We now know what family they come from. We now know what they're about. When you have Haku, who is your father, and one of the most dangerous men in the history of WWE, managing you, everybody should look at you and take you serious. Now, the problem And I don't want this to sound like I hate it. I don't. I think this is a great move. This is a good thing. Hopefully the fans buy into it. My problem is, and this is where the reality hits, and even though you might like this, you can't sit there and deny anything I'm about to say. The damage has already been done. WWE has wasted so many months of television on these two guys. They've wasted so much time with these guys in a group that legitimately went nowhere. They spent time in the MFTs with Solo, and the only one that had any sort of story or background was Solo Sikoa. Meanwhile, all they did was try and pretend like this group mattered. Meanwhile, we didn't know who Jeff Cobb was. We didn't know why he was there. We didn't know who Tama Tonga or Tonga Loa were. We didn't know why they were there. We didn't know who Tala Tonga was, where he came from, or why he was there. The only one that they cared about was Solo Sikoa, and then they pretended like we were supposed to care about the group. When WWE did absolutely no legwork, when they did no groundwork to tell us who the rest of the people in the group were. They told none of their individual stories. They told us nothing about why they were here, what they were about, and what they wanted to accomplish. All they did was throw them on television, pair them with Solo Sikoa because he was a former Bloodline member. He's a part of the Anoa'i family. He's cousins with Roman Reigns, and he's brothers to the Usos. They expected us to care based off Solo's already built-in equity. That's not how you get characters over. If you don't individualize everybody on their own and tell me why I should care, nobody's gonna care. People nowadays have the attention span of a fucking fly. You can't just sit there and, all right, let's pair him with Solo. Everyone's gonna care because everyone knows Solo. No. You have to give people a reason to fucking care. In 2026, you can't be lazy. You can't. This might have worked back then when characters were fleshed out and developed properly. In 2026, where they couldn't be bothered to fucking give a shit about anything, you gotta do creatively. The writers have to do the legwork to fucking explain why we should care and who these people are. This happened month after month after month after month after month after month. I'm looking at like 7 or 8 months in the field with the Wyatt 6, who eventually all 5 of them got released. I saw for 6, 7, 8 months these guys battle over a fucking lantern. The mystical lantern with fucking magical powers. That's what you wanted me to look at and say, I care about these guys. I want to see them fight. The damage was done, chat. Now what they're doing is too little too late. Do I like the move? Yes. Yes, I do. I very much love the move. The thing is, the move that they did tonight should have been the move they did 24 months ago. Or whenever Tala Tonga got there. How long has he been there? 12 months? The move they did tonight should have been a move they did 12 months ago. Tell me when I'm telling any fucking lies. Tell me. This will fall flat on its face like everything else the former MFTs do. It'll fall flat on its face. Does this audience know who Haku is? Are you going to give me a story and a background as to who Haku is to reaffirm the audience who he is and what his legacy is and what his history is and why he's here with his sons? Are we going to start fleshing out this character between Tala Tonga and Tonga Loa? Or Tama Tonga, rather? Are you going to all of a sudden now make the tag team division, I don't know, competitive? From what I saw, they were going after the AAA Tag Team Championships. What's more important, the AAA Tag Team Championships or the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? I can't fucking tell. Or is WWE so lazy that there is no SmackDown Tag Team Division, and no Monday Night Raw Tag Team Division. And now all the Tag Team Divisions are just basically going to be condensed into the AAA Tag Team Division. Why do Damian Priest and R-Truth want the AAA Tag Team Championships? Why do Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, or what's his name, Tonga Loa, he's not even there anymore. Why do Tama Tonga and Tonga want the AAA Tag Team titles? Why? What is so precious about these tag team titles that everybody wants, but they don't want the SmackDown Tag Team titles? It is too late, chat. It is too late. They can give these guys a Hall of Famer out the fucking asshole. It doesn't matter. It's too late. And you have WWE Creative to blame for that. They fucked Tama Tonga and Tonga. Because you didn't want to put the work in when they first got there. Now they have to suffer, and eventually they will fail, just like everybody else. War Raiders come out, no reaction. These guys come out, no reaction. They get beat up, no reaction. They stand tall with the AAA Tag Team titles. Not a single motherfucking person in Green Bay gave a fuck. Nobody. Speaking of this tag team title match, Damian Priest and R-Truth versus the War Raiders. This was a title for title match. WWE and AAA tag team title match. 7 minutes. So important. They got 7 minutes, which is basically what that equals to, if you watch on the USA Network, 4 minutes, because we had a 3-minute commercial break. Eric makes a blind tag to Ivar just before Priest gave Ivar a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Priest dodged Eric. Eric came at him with a right hand. He hits a forearm. He called for the big clothesline, but he ran the ropes instead of actually trying to hit his opponent. So he turned around. The War Raiders dropped him with double team and led to a 2 count. Double team Truth shoved the referee, Charles Robinson, away. He tried to pull them off. Priest got into it and then shoved Robinson again. And the referee called for the belt. All of a sudden, they wanted to put their hands on Charles Robinson. Not once, but twice. Because these tag team titles are so important. If the titles were so important, then why did you risk disqualification? You mean to tell me that the tensions between these 4 guys are so boiled over that they opted to beat up the referee, put their hands on the referee, and shove the referee so that the referee calls the match a disqualification? Double disqualification. The teams kept fighting on the floor and fought through the crowd. Truth jumped off one of the production crates in the back. He's wearing this fucking cheese hat, pandering to Green Bay because they can't get a fucking reaction otherwise. Priest was up first, clothesline, both Raiders back over the barricade towards the ringside area. All of a sudden, Tonga and Tama Tonga run out and take out both teams. Tala chokeslam Truth into the ring post. Tama beat down Priest. Tala chokeslam Priest with ease back in the ring. Haku gets in the ring, and they held up both sets of belts. And he stood in the ring between both of his sons. Once again, chat, too little, too late. They showed a pre-tape with Nick Aldis. They showed footage of his TNA career. This is why WWE is in a partnership with TNA, chat. This is all WWE cares about, that TNA tape library. The more content they have, the more content they can monetize, the more money they could make. That's why they want it. He says that he was okay with leaving his in-ring career behind him and accepting a general manager role until, that is, Gunther put his hands on Nick Aldis. That left Aldis with no choice but to face Gunther at SummerSlam like a man. This was fine. I'm looking forward to this match. I think this match is going to be something tomorrow night that I think we'll be talking about in detail. I think that Nick Aldis and what he's doing with Gunther is very good work. I'm interested to see what he does. And I think he's in there with the right guy. Kathy Kelly had a backstage interview with CM Punk. She asked, how is CM Punk reconciling with the fact that he has to fight his friend tomorrow night at SummerSlam with the WWE Championship on the line? Simply put, this is competition. They've been running from this match for quite some time. Punk says that they've been running because they don't have to be friends. Does Punk feel like Cody is his friend now? No. Will Punk be Cody's friend when the bell rings? Absolutely not. It's his job as champion to take on all comers. It doesn't matter who it is. At the end of the night, Punk will still be the WWE champion. Trick Williams interrupts this interview with Kathy Kelly. Trick wants Punk to know, man-to-man, face-to-face, that CM Punk should feel lucky that Trick Williams lost the Fatal 4-Way match last week. One way or another, sooner or later, Trick is coming for the WWE Championship. Punk appreciates Trick's confidence and the aspirations he has to be a champion, a double champion. Tricky 2 belts. Everybody's got fucking 2 belts. Everybody wants 2 belts. It's the newest trend in pro wrestling. Everyone's got to have 2 fucking belts. Punk is upset because he wanted Trick to win. Don't get it twisted. I wanted you to win last week. I need new challengers. And when Trick wins a #1 contender match in the future and he reaches the top of the mountain where the air is rare, Punk is going to whoop that Trick. I don't know when Trick Williams becomes a WWE champion, but it's not going to be this year. And it shouldn't be this year. Speaking of Trick Williams, we have Trick Williams out in the ring. He comes out, he gets his theme music, he gets a pop.
Well, I don't know what Trick Williams would do.
He's in the ring with a microphone. He's going to address Baron Corbin, who he will be wrestling on Sunday night for the United States Championship.
This was the plan. Well, the plan wasn't to do this match.
The sexy, most entertaining champion alive, Trick Williams, has finally arrived, he says. Now, I can't lie. Tonight, I got a lot on my chest, so I'm going to get straight to business. Over the past month, that big, bald-headed Baron Corbin decided to come back to SmackDown just so he can hate on Trick Williams. So let me get this straight, Baron. You woke up one morning, got out of that Alaskan King mattress, shaved your head, polished it up real nice, looking like a big-ass Tommy Pickles, and think you're going to hate on Trick Williams? Hate on Mr. Lemon Pepper Steppers. Hate on the Anointed One. Baron, you make me sick. So here's what we're going to do about it. No more waiting. No more sneaking nobody. Right here in Wisconsin, Baron, you better come out here with that cheese head so I can trick slap you all the way to Minnesota. I'm glad Baron Corbin's back. I'm glad they have him in some sort of direction. We couldn't give this guy his old theme music back. What is this theme music they gave him? Did anybody see and hear that theme music with the Titantron behind them? What was on the Titantron, chat? Does anybody realize or remember what they said on the Titantron? Like, it was like, I need to fight, or something like that. What was the wording on the Titantron that they had spread out for Baron Corbin? I need to fight. Or something along those lines. Why couldn't they give him his old theme music back? They want to go back and re-record the old NXT theme musics to be updated by Def Rebel, but they don't want to do that for Baron Corbin. I am the pain, says Soapwater. It was I am the pain. What the fuck does that mean? Yes, this show is my pain. I am the pain. I cause the pain. Here comes the pain. SmackDown causes JD pain. Trick, I bet you love just hearing the sound of your own voice. I want you to understand something. While I was away, I learned some very valuable lessons. One of those lessons was about patience. Something you know nothing about, because when you arrived, they strapped that rocket to your back and shot you straight to the top. They gave you entrance music that everybody here sings along to and makes believe that you are more important than you actually are. You want everything right now, and Trick, that will be your downfall. On Sunday at SummerSlam, it's going to feel like you're in quicksand. That's how I feel when I watch this show. It feels like I'm in quicksand. It's going to be suffocating. It won't be fun, and it will hurt. As that panic sets in, Trick, I'm going to wrap my arms around your neck, cutting off blood and oxygen all over your brain. Well, he really got descriptive here. He really got very detailed, did Baron Corbin. Oh, man, shut up, says Trick Williams. We both know you ain't gonna do nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm sick and tired of you coming around here acting like you're better now than you was the first time you were here. So let's cut to the chase, Baron. What is this all about? Are you here to collect a check? Are you here to collect that pension? So you can get that new summer house in Barcelona? Well, I'll tell you, the only thing you're collecting is this size 15 lemon pepper stepper right up your ass. So like I said, tonight in Wisconsin. Trick, let me guess. You want to do it right here, right now, in front of these people? Yes, that's what I want, says Trick. Does everybody here want a little preview of Sunday? Well, that's not going to happen. I don't care what any of you want. I don't care what you want because you're just a dumb rookie that doesn't understand. That's the lesson right there, Trick. Patience. Now I want you to look me dead in the eyes right now and understand something. On Sunday, I'm taking that title, and there's legitimately nothing in this world you can do about it. Hey, Baron, on Sunday, says Trick, there won't be no title taken. It'll be 35,000 people. Thank you for telling me that the show is not sold out. All on one accord, chanting the same thing, Wisconsin, tell him what we're gonna do. Whoop that Trick. This was fine. It wasn't as offensive as the rest of the fucking show. It was fine for what it was. I just wish there was a little bit more heat between both of these guys. I just feel like this is going to be given the 10-minute treatment, and I don't know who's going to win. This is Baron Corbin's first match back. Do we all see him losing? Probably. I don't see them taking the belt off Trick Williams. I could absolutely see Carmelo Hayes getting involved and Carmelo Hayes throwing himself back into the United States title picture. I don't even know why he's not on the show. Not a single fucking peep, not a single appearance by Carmelo Hayes. Isn't he the one screwed out of the match by Baron Corbin? Why would Carmelo Hayes just let it slide? Why would Carmelo Hayes just let Baron Corbin win the United States Championship? He's the guy that fucked him over. I'm going with Trick to win, thanks to Melo. Ray Phoenix, he goes one-on-one with J.D. McDonough. Ray Phoenix couldn't buy television time when he was just Ray Phoenix. Now that he's the Cruiserweight champion, I mean, they give him 11 minutes. I mean, this was easily the best thing on the show, match-wise. This was easily the best thing on the show. I mean, both guys are fucking great. Pick it up after the break. McDonough hits a massive forearm, takes Phoenix out, charges into the corner. Phoenix dodge, hits a crossbody, followed by a Death Valley driver. Cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Phoenix hit a couple of kicks, springboard cutter. McDonough battles back, running Spanish fly, looked great. Near fall. They go back and forth. Phoenix, he goes in the ropes. He twirls around the ropes to fake a dive through the ropes. And then he nailed him with a big thrust kick. Goes up top. So he's up top. Referee's distracted. Dominic Mysterio gets out there, distracts the referee, and McDonough crotches Phoenix on the top rope. All of a sudden, the fucking little clown, the geek himself, Danhausen comes out. This little fucker comes out to the stage, and he is about to curse Dominic Mysterio. Mysterio punches him before he can finish. Then all of a sudden, the Midgethausens come on out, and they start beating up Dominic Mysterio while Danhausen held him, and then they fight off the stage and through the back through Gorilla. They had to get Danhausen on the show by hook or by crook. Even this little appearance that was less than 30 seconds was offensive to me. Back in the ring, Phoenix walked the ropes, big adios amigos kick, double knees in the corner, Mexican muscle buster, 1, 2, 3, and that was it. That was it. don't know what else you want me to say, chat. There was no story coming in. There was no reason why the match happened. WWE's just got this fetish for, I guess, featuring the Cruiserweight Championship. I don't know. This was the main event match of the evening. Coming up next, Lash Legend versus Julia. The last of the women's qualifying matches for the interim WWE Women's Championship. Lash got some of her entrance. No Nia, thank God. Julia, she gets no entrance. We go to commercial break. We come back from the break, and Julia's already in the ring. No entrance. No entrance. If you want to know how buried Julia is, she's now getting the no entrance treatment. This match, chat, did anybody time this match? I got to go to Cage Match to see what the time of this match was. I have to go to Cage Match. I got to see what Cage Match gave us tonight. Let's see. Results. Do they even have SmackDown on here? They don't even have SmackDown on here. Let's look at Legend. I got to look up Lash Legend by her name. Lash Legend. She has a 5.71 on Cage Match. Great. Wow. She's really lighting the world on fire. They don't even have it up there yet. Boy, they didn't even have it up there. That's how awful this show was. The last time they had SmackDown up there was... I can't even see. Well, the last time they updated SmackDown was... Raquel Rodriguez defeats Bayley, JC Jane, and Kiana James for the Queen of the Ring. It's the last time they had updated SmackDown. 6/5/26. Even CageMatch.net won't even update it because the show was so terrible. Oh my goodness. That show took place from Bologna, Italy. We'll say 2 minutes. Had to be 2 minutes. I ranted enough on Julia. Lash Legend wins in about 2 minutes. Julia was trying to kick her in the leg. She then got an octopus hold. Legend escaped with a big sidewalk slam. Legend, she gets up. Julia shows a last-ditch effort and hits her with the Arrivederci knee. Goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. She went to suplex Lash Legend, couldn't get her up. She locked in a guillotine. Lash gets up. Lash extension for the 1, 2, 3. We opted to put Lash Legend in a match for the world title and not Julia. Julia's booking has been fucking deplorable. I don't know what we're doing. Last segment of the night, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. We got a Cody Rhodes Street Fighter ad. Apparently they're selling Cody as Guile and Roman as Akuma. Special Street Fighter Summerslam collaboration t-shirts at the WWE Superstore in Minneapolis. Good luck getting in there. So Cody Rhodes, he comes out first. He's about to aura farm his entrance for about 5 minutes. As soon as he gets to the aisleway and is about to do the whoa, CM Punk cuts him off. His theme music comes on. Cult of Personality comes on. Cuts off Cody's egregious aura farming. He marches to the ring. He gets in the ring immediately. Music stops. Doesn't feel good now, does it, pal? Doesn't it feel great? Cut the music. Does it feel great? That's where we are at right now. Kind of like you putting an elbow in my face at the house show last night, which they showed and was very purposefully done. Cody Rhodes says, that's where we're at. Cody says, that's where we're at. Punk says, yeah, that's where we're at. All right, let's go. Cody says, yeah, that's where we're at. We were there a long time ago before you whipped the title back in my face on accident at Saturday Night's Main Event, and you know it. You've been watching me since I come up, 20 years old. That's our friendship. But the fact that you know me, I can't be fraudulent with you. I got to be real with you. But the fact that we don't talk about is I know you and I see through you. Sometimes I see through your mind games. You had to know that we were already on this path long before. But you had to know when you showed up in Chicago for a title match that just fell into your lap, knowing how much that meant to me, and you weren't running away from me anymore. We were running towards each other. CM Punk says, mind games, huh? Well, pardon me if I deviate course and ask a question. Is it great to be alive on a Friday night in Green Bay, Wisconsin, or what? No. It's never great to be alive on a Friday night. That means SmackDown. Lately, it's not great to be alive on any fucking night during these shows, to be quite honest with you. Did I know I was going to ruffle some feathers? Yeah, of course I did. Bet your ass I did. Did I know I was going to hurt some feelings? I was counting on it. But what was I supposed to do? Be like one of these piss babies in the back crying and moaning about the same four people always being champion? Or Sami Zayn talking like a bench player, talking like a starter when he's a bench player? Was I supposed to say no, like those mediocre bums? No, I'm CM Punk. I get asked to show up in Chicago for a title shot, I'm damn well going to show up, and I hope it pisses people off. I hope people get angry about it. I ruffle feathers. It's what I do. You guys know old classic Call of Duty commentary? The best Call of Duty commentator back 13, 14 years ago was El Presador. It was one of his things. It's what I do! I remember him going off on fucking everybody, man. Oh, my God. So great. I don't know why I thought of him. It's what I do. I've done it for 20 years in this company, and 10 of them I was gone. And the mere mention of my name sends shivers down men's spine. I'm like the boogeyman. So yeah, Cody, I knew it was going to send me and you on a path. So let's stop talking about being friends and start talking about what it's about. It's about the championship. I don't got to be your friend right now. I'm certainly not going to be your friend tomorrow. At the end of the night tomorrow, it's going to be up to you if we're still pals. I got to know who's the better wrestler between me and you, you know, for business purposes. People, you know what to do. I remember. You guys remember. This line here, at the end of the night tomorrow, he says, it's going to be up to you if we're still pals. That's where Cody stabs him in the back after Punk says, I'm not going to stab you in the back, but I'm going to stab you in the front. You're going to see it. Cody, he needs to do the opposite. He needs to do it to Punk, but Punk can't see it coming. For business purposes, forgive me. We got off to the wrong foot here because you interrupted me, so let me go ahead and ask this question. Green Bay, what do you want to talk about? See, it didn't work for Cody, and he just wasted everybody's time asking Green Bay what they wanted to talk about. And then they promptly chanted, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. That's what we wanted to talk about. I believe you said business purposes, correct? Business purposes. It sounds a little bit like CM Punk double talk, which I know all too well. And I should know that. But this isn't business. You talked about those guys back there? This isn't business. This is personal. You already knew how personal it was for me, and damn well know how personal it is for you. It's personal to everybody who won the WWE Championship, to everyone who hasn't won the WWE Championship. This means that you are indeed the best in the world. This means that's the crown. You walk around here the king, and you call the shots. But correct me if I'm wrong, because we've done a lot of things and made a lot of friends. I think everyone is tired of all the friends talk. You're the one who said that you're not here to make friends. You're here to make money. CM Punk really shut him up very quickly. He said, yes, I did say that. I did say make friends. I didn't come back to make friends, Cody. I also didn't come back to lose friends. But if it comes to losing a friend or a title, tomorrow is not going to be your night, pal. There's a word that really is bothering me here. I can't put my finger on it, but I bet you can guess what it is. I know they can guess what it is. You know the word that's bothering me, the word tomorrow. Because you made it clear that what you're prepared to do at SummerSlam tomorrow night, and I already asked Green Bay what they want to talk about. I should ask you, what do you want to talk about tonight? We're like fucking 10 minutes into this promo, and now he's asking him what he wants to talk about? Punk drops the microphone, he drops the WWE Championship, he places it in between them. Punk tells Cody, say when. Cody takes off his WWE club jacket. Punk begs Cody to hit him. Punk and Cody start trading shots back and forth, and we're off to the races here. They're brawling. Punk whips Cody into the ring. Cody ducks a clothesline from Punk. Cody with a running clothesline. Cody clotheslines Punk over the top rope. He then slams Punk's head on the announce table. Cody then clears the announce table. Punk comes back. He kicks Cody in the midsection. Punk then tosses Cody over the announce desk. He mocks Cody's entrance, doing the whoa. Leg sweep exchange. Punk and Cody continue to brawl. And the show goes off the air. There's really no new information there, chat. There really is no new information there. WWE's been slow burning this thing. There's nothing there outside of Cody's the former champion and Punk is the current champion, and the way this has all materialized to where we are now. Punk had an opportunity that fell out of the sky. He won it. And Cody was supposed to get that opportunity, but he was taken out by Gunther. In comes Punk to wrestle Sammy, and Punk wins the title from Sammy. Now we are where we are. Cody is getting an opportunity again. Match is official. Whatever comes next needs to happen in that match tomorrow. And I know I said it, and I said it, and I said it the last 3 weeks. Cody Rhodes needs to show heel. Tomorrow. CM Punk even said tonight, it's going to be up to you tomorrow night if we're friends or not coming out of SummerSlam. That's a clear indication to me that Cody wants the title bad enough, wants it bad enough to take it off of CM Punk bad enough. I mean, those words to me, everything lines up to show you exactly what Cody's about. He doesn't give a shit about Punk's friendship. He doesn't give a fuck about friends, period. He just wants the title because he's addicted to it. It's like he's Frodo in the ring. He can't part with it. Cody needs to turn heel. Not full-fledged heel, not 100% heel turn. I don't want to see Cody show up on fucking Friday with fucking pitch black hair and this Homelander gimmick. Subtle. Build towards it. Make it interesting. Give Cody a layer where we show up next week on Friday and he's fucking into
I'm Blake Suniga, and it's good.
Oh, we can't turn him heel. We don't have another babyface to replace him. Yes, you do. His name is Phil Brooks. CM Punk. He's in the ring with Cody on Saturday night for the WWE title. Kratos, I just saw, bro. 22 minutes total match time between all 5 qualifying matches. How many commercial breaks were in those 22 minutes? Is what I want to know. That's all I got for you guys. This show sucks. This show sucks. In every sense of the word, this show sucks. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you guys did enjoy tonight's stream, I would really appreciate you show some of that back to me, man. Thumbs up. We got 851 likes with 2,500 people in here. There's no way everybody in this chat room has hit the thumbs up. So we need another 150 likes for 1,000. Can we hit 1,000 likes tonight on the stream? That would mean a lot to me. You guys don't want to get in a super chat or anything else. That goes just as far, bro. It really does. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Friday Night SmackDown tonight. Super chats are open. We're going to get into them in just a second. Quickly, I want to shout out my sponsor for tonight's show, BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is...
Well, can't wait for tomorrow. I might do a live stream for SummerSlam on night 1. Maybe, I'm not sure. Now, SummerSlam 2 nights in Minneapolis. Night 1 and night 2 there were 6 matches on both nights. 12 matches altogether. Now, for the 6th man, I think maybe Solo and Wade Key and LA Knight could win that. Gunther will probably beat Nick Aldis. Hopefully Chad Gable beat Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully it's Chad Gable time. As for the 6th woman, we could see Fatal Influence get the win. They beat the Bellas and Paige. Hopefully Paige does something else, and the Bella finally retire and go away for a while. As for the other, I think Baron Corbin might win. There's a possibility Baron Corbin could win and beat Trick Williams. I'll go with Trick Williams just to be safe, but I think Corbin could win that. As for the 2 World Championships, CM Punk gonna retain. We could get a heel turn from Cody Rhodes. Maybe Sammy can get involved, or some screwy finish that might continue the feud. Because I'm not sure we're gonna be one off. Unless we see Randy Orton and Kevin Owens return, we'll have to wait and see. As for Reigns and Rollins, Roman Reigns obviously gonna win. Rollins ain't gonna win. This is Reigns to win. It's been a better feud and a better build-up based on the promo packages and the beat that they had. It's been better than Cody and Punk. But I think Reigns will beat Rollins, retain the title. Now, will we see The Rock show up and finally tear down Roman Reigns? Probably not. Now, something had to happen at SummerSlam in the main event. Now, as for the Hell in a Cell, Over Family gonna win and beat Brock Lesnar, end their feud, move on. Hopefully, we see Over Family go after the World Championship. He'll probably go after Roman Reigns. It just makes sense. So let's see. Yeah, so now who's gonna win the interim women's championship? Chelsea Green, if they want to do a swerve or something. I think Charlotte might win, or Chelsea Green. Jay Carter not winning it. I don't think Life Legend is winning it. Tiffany Stratton's not winning it. She's already the U.S. champion. She's not winning it. So it has to be either Charlotte or Chelsea Green if they want to do a shock or a swerve or something like that. Well, no one win it. Now, whoever's going to win it probably not going to be Rhea Ripley. Whenever Rhea comes back, the Bossy probably going to retain. Yeah, so I can't wait for SummerSlam. I will do my live stream review on the WWE 2K26. I'm not gonna do it on a 2K game. I'll do it on the WWE game. Alright, so might as well just end the video. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.